Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Good evening, all of you.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
See, in last class, we discussed about normality, right?
Yes, sir.
Now,
Yes, sir.
next concentration term is mole fraction. Mole fraction is denoted with X, capital X. Okay, see, just we'll consider binary solution. Means solution contain two components. Consider a binary solution. That means solution having two components. Number of moles of component A is Na. Next, number of moles of component B is NB.
So we're supposed to write this.
Yeah, consider a solution of binaries. Okay, enough. Yeah, later I'll give definition. First listen how to give the formula for mole fraction. Now we need mole fraction of component A. Mole fraction of component A in solution or in binary solution of A and B is Na by Na plus Nb. This is mole fraction of A. Next one, mole fraction of B.
So we don't need to write this, right?
Right, ma, this is only formulas. Note down.
Okay.
Mole fraction of component B. B in binary solution of A and B is Nb by Na plus Nb. So it is actually denoted with Xa, mole fraction of A. This is denoted with Xb. So this is important. Always Xa plus Xb becomes 1 only. So I'll write under note point this.
Sir, could you explain once more?
Noted all of you?
Just a
Sir,
minute.
the 2 minutes,
Just
sir.
a minute, sir.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, in a solution there can be many components, right?
No, I selected here only binary solution. Yes, if you select a ternary solution that contain 3 components.
Sir, it can be bicubic and etc. etc.
Yeah. So if suppose 3 components are there. Okay, I will give you that example also. Note down this one first.
Sir, if we suppose a solution has considered 10 components, then each and every component will have its own mole fraction.
Yeah,
right?
it's having of its own mole fraction. Yes.
And in the denominator, instead of
Sum of all the components, number of moles of all the component.
instead of writing all of those, we can write just sigma.
You can write. So yeah, sum. Okay, suppose compound having 3 components, the solution having, don't need to write, just listen this one. Solution have 3 components, that is A, B and C. First we are calculating number of moles of A, that is Na. Number of moles of B, NB. Number of moles of component C is NC. Now I want mole fraction of component A. Mole fraction of component A is equal to Na by
Na divided by NB plus NB plus NC.
Na plus NB plus NC. Like mole fraction of B is equal to number of moles of B by Na plus NB plus NC. Mole fraction of C is equal to NC by Na plus NB plus NC. Like this we are writing. It's the very easiest one.
Sir,
Yes.
then sum of all three mole fractions will be 1.
Yeah, sum of mole fraction of all the components in a solution always becomes equal to 1. Yes, note down problem. Calculate the mole fraction of benzene. Calculate the mole fraction of benzene.
So, what
Yes.
exactly is the use of mole fraction?
This is one concentration term. To calculate amount of component in solution, we are using a mole fraction term. And in 12th standard, we have colligative properties. Most of the colligative properties are related to mole fraction. To express some properties, like I'm saying, colligative properties. So there we are using this concentration term.
So, is it related to empirical formula?
No, it's not related to empirical formula.
Okay, we haven't done that yet, right?
No, not done that one. After this concentrations, then yeah, yes. Then concept is empirical formula and molecular formula. That's not. This is not related to that. Calculate the mole fraction of benzene in solution containing 30% by mass. 30% by mass in carbon tetrachloride. Formula is CCl4. Carbon tetrachloride formula. See, you're given 30% by mass in carbon tetrachloride. That means benzene in CCl4 means thirty grams
Sir,
of
can you
benzene.
repeat the compound name? I'm not able to see it glaring.
What this compound name?
Yeah.
Carbon tetrachloride, CCl4. Formula is CCl4. Carbon tetrachloride. See, 30 grams of benzene present in 70 grams of CCl4. Present in 70 grams of CCl4, carbon tetrachloride. So now calculate number of moles of benzene, number of moles of carbon tetrachloride. Like next,
Sir,
please. Yeah.
Sir, it won't be present in, no, sir. It will be with it, not in it.
Okay. It's a mixture, right?
Yes, sir.
Present with 70 grams of carbon tetrachloride. So here calculate number of moles of benzene. Number of moles of benzene, you write N benzene C6H6 equal to mass of benzene is 30 grams. What is molar mass of benzene? C6H6 molar mass
78.
78. Tell me number of moles 30 by 78.
Sir, let us consider the fraction simplified, sir.
No, instead of that, go through this method. 0.384. Next, number of moles of carbon tetrachloride, CCl4. So NCCl4 equal to mass is 70 grams. CCl4 molar mass
156.
154.
Yeah.
Calculate this. 70 by 154. This is 0.45. So now we have number of moles of benzene and carbon tetrachloride. Next step is mole fraction of benzene. Mole fraction of benzene X C6H6 is equal to number of moles of benzene by number of moles of benzene and number of moles of carbon tetrachloride. Formula is number of moles of benzene divided by number of moles of benzene plus number of moles of carbon tetrachloride. So 0.384 divided by 0.384 plus 0.45. is 0.46. No units, it's not having any units. So next, mole fraction of CCl4 is 1 minus 0.46. So 0.54.
Sir, they only ask mole fraction of benzene.
Yeah. In examination, mostly asking only mole fraction of one component. They won't ask to, but calculate. It is useful. Sometimes these mole fractions are related to another properties. Okay, solve this question. Calculate the mole fraction of ethylene glycol COL. Formula is C2H6O2. In a solution containing in a solution containing 20% of C2H6O2 by mass. So here solute is ethylene glycol, solvent is water. So calculate here mole fraction of ethylene glycol in water.
So, is there any definition for mole fraction?
That is there, but you can write in your words. Mole fraction of component is a number of moles of one component divided by total number of moles of all the components present in solution.
Sir,
Yes, tell me.
sir, is the concept of mole fraction and empirical formula same?
No, both are not same. Both are different.
Okay, sir.
Empirical formula, molecular formula, that's calculation easy. Next, I will teach that concept after finishing this concentration terms. Okay, solve this problem. So they're given 20% by mass. So 20 grams of ethylene glycol, extra remaining 80 grams is water, H2O. Next step is calculation of number of moles of ethylene glycol and water.
Oh,
Yes.
is it 0.067?
What is the final answer?
Yes, sir.
0.067. Yes, correct.
So where are these questions from?
These questions is actually 12th standard questions. 11th standard also there.
So what's the answer?
0.067, or after if you get any number also, okay, fine.
So, sir, if any other compound is not given, we should directly take water, right?
Yes, correct. If you didn't give anything, you take water, because water we are considering as a universal solvent.
Sir, could you solve it? I'm not getting it for some reason.
See, first write a mass of ethylene glycol, C2H6O2, 20 grams. Mass of ethylene glycol, 20 grams. Then mass of water, 80 grams.
Sir, your screen is frozen. I can't hear you.
Just a minute. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Is appearance okay? Board appearance?
Yes, sir.
It's calculated,
So
all of you. Aryan,
So it's very blurry now.
all of you have same problem?
Sir, it's okay for me. I don't know about anyone else.
Okay.
That's
Not
okay
me,
for
sir.
me, sir.
I think you have some internet problems, wait.
Okay. Sir.
It's calculated, all of you.
Yes, sir.
So here mass of ethylene glycol, C2H6, O2 is equal to 20 grams. Then mass of water is 80 grams. How many number of moles of ethylene glycol? Number of moles of ethylene glycol.
62. 62.
0.322, that's what I got.
What is molar mass of ethylene glycol?
Sir, I just kept it as 10 by 31 and later I simplified it.
Molar mass will be 62.
Okay.
Yes, a molar mass.
Then here 20 by 62.
Zero 0.32.
0.32. Okay. Then number of moles of water. 80 by 18. I think 4.44. Yeah. Next step. Mole fraction of ethylene glycol, X C2H6O2 equal to 0.32 divided by 0.32 plus 4.44. It gives 0.06 7, I think something overall 0.068. Yeah, 0.06722. Okay, right as 667 only. 67. Or 67. Okay, the next concentration term is ppm, parts per million. So this concentration term we are mostly using when solute present in trace quantity, very less amount of solute is present in solution, we are using parts per million. Suppose presence of carbon dioxide in atmosphere, or presence of sulfur dioxide in atmosphere, and concentration of impurities like calcium ions present in water, bicarbonate ions present in water. So this trace of solute present in solution, we are calculating in terms of parts per million. So right definition.
Sir, from this chapter, mostly numericals will only come, right?
Yeah, mostly numericals.
Sir, could you explain ppm again?
ppm this is a concentration term applying for solute when solute is present in trace quantity. When the less amount of solute is present in given solution, we are using ppm. Suppose sulfur dioxide present in atmosphere. This is only explanation. In terms of ppms, we are explaining. And even any impurities are, I think you know, hard water, soft water.
Yes,
Hard
Yes,
water and
sir.
soft water. So
Yes,
hard
sir.
water is mainly because of calcium and magnesium ions present in water. So their amount of calcium and magnesium ions present in water is expressed in terms of ppms, because those are present in trace quantities. So here formula is given, so the mass of impure substance divided by total mass of substance into 10 power 6. We are taking in millions. So I think we are calculating percentages. In percentages, we are writing into 100. But in ppms, we are writing 10 power 6, means 1 lakh.
Okay, sir.
Right. The concentration of very dilute solution very dilute solution is expressed in terms of parts of the solute by mass present in even by mass, or we can apply for by volume also. By mass or volume present in million parts present in million parts. By mass of the solution. By mass or volume. The solution. So ppm of component A. Mass of A by mass of solution into 10 power 6. See here, instead of mass we can take volume also. Think you know pollution checkup.
Yes, sir.
Pollution checkup missions. They are expressing in ppms only. How much amount of carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, and some other carbon particles or even dust particles. So that's kind of particles they are measuring in terms of ppms only. So in such case, they are taking in case in volumes. So impurity is present in air, expressing here same ppms only concentration term, but here writing volume of sulfur dioxide divided by total volume of gas taken into 10 power 6. Yes, tell me.
Sir, once we go to atmospheric level, we can't take so much air and then measure, no, sir.
What?
Sir, for this, we usually take small amounts or very large amounts.
No, we are taking small amount. See, whenever you see that pollution checkup missions, where they are keeping, are they keeping in any parks? No, mostly they are placing inside of road, right?
Yes,
so
sir.
in that surrounding area, I mean road sides, some much pollution is there. So to check up that how much pollution is there, they are using this instrument. They won't consider entire volume of the gas. Just particular volume of a gas they are collecting. In that gas only they are counting how much particles are present.
Sir, but it's still in atmosphere. It will be in large amount only, no, sir.
No, it's actually homogeneous mixture.
Hello.
Sir, if it's kept in atmosphere and all, if they're doing in atmosphere, the amount will be large only, no, sir.
Amount will be large.
Like the amount, like the ppm content will be more, no, sir.
They might be taking some sample, no? Small sample.
Some small sample of gas is
Yeah.
that's also taking near of roadsides. Why? To check pollution in that particular area only.
Okay, sir.
So okay. So this is applying mass, even volume, and sometimes applying for numbers also. Number of particles of a component divided by total number of particles into 10 power 6. Okay. Next, write one problem. This is related to molarity, molality, and mole fraction also. Calculate. Well, this problem is not related to ppm. Calculate molarity, just wait. First one, molality. Molality. Next, molarity. Then C is mole fraction of Ki. Mole fraction of potassium iodide, Ki. If the density of if the density of 20% mass by mass, Aqueous Ki is 1.202 gram per ml.
So what does 20% mass by mass mean?
Means if you take 100 grams of solution, there 20 grams is potassium iodide, remaining 80 grams is water.
Okay.
So, but shouldn't it be mass by volume?
Not mass by volume, mass by mass, that is. If it is mass by volume means it's goes wrong. That means 20 grams of KI is present in 100 ml of water. So here given mass by mass only, so consider both are in grams. Okay, first step, consider 100 grams of solution. In that 20 grams is potassium iodide, remaining 80 grams is water. First calculate molality, it's very easy. Oh, here mass of iodine I didn't give, so note down here. Potassium mass is 39, iodine mass is 127.
Sir, they'll give the mass.
What?
Will they provide the mass?
Yeah, they'll provide my. Suppose elements below 20, there is no chance to give. Above 20 elements, they're giving atomic masses. Mostly, they're giving atomic masses. So consider 100 gram solution. $20 grams of Ki present with 80 grams of water. So now we have mass of potassium iodide and mass of water. Next, first one, see molality. What is formula of molality? Risha.
Yes, sir.
Molality formula.
Number of moles in solute by mass of solvent.
Oh, very good. Number of moles of solute divided by mass of solvent. So I'm writing here full formula. Mass of solute divided by molar mass of solute into 1000 by mass of solvent. Substitute here. Mass of solute is potassium iodide, it is 20 grams. And molar mass 127 plus 39.
166.
166 into 1000 by mass of solvent is 80 grams of water. Calculate and write mass, sorry, molality of solution.
So it's approximately 1.5.
1.5. Okay. Hmm, 1.5. Mole per kilogram. Okay, next, second one, calculate molarity. To calculate molarity, here we need volume of solution. So we know mass of solution, density of solution. From that, calculate volume of solution. Next, calculate for molarity. Molarity. Capital M. Here, volume of solution.
Sir, I got the volume of potassium iodide as 16.63 ml.
What? Only that much? Think you did mistake.
Yes.
Here, 20 grams of potassium iodide present in 80 grams. Means you
Sir,
will get
I
almost
got
80.
Sir, I'm only talking about
83.19.
83.19.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so apply that. Density is equal to mass by volume, right? Volume of V is volume of solution. Volume of solution V is equal to mass by density. So that's mass is total mass of solution we have to take 100 grams divided by density is 1.202.
Sir, isn't it 100 by 1.2?
Sorry, 100 by. Yeah. Tell me how much? 100 by 1.202.
83.19 approx.
83.19. So you may write 2. 83.19. So 83.2 ml.
Sir,
Now substitute in this formula. Yes, tell me.
Sir, the volume of Ki is that value, not the whole solution, sir.
No. We have to take volume of solution, not only volume of potassium iodide. Potassium iodide is solid.
Yes, sir. Sir, the 1.202 is only for Ki, not with water.
Ki is density of solution.
It's aqueous Ki.
Density of solution is 1.202. Not for potassium iodide.
Sir, so for 20 grams, it will have a definite volume. And for 80 grams of water, it will have another definite volume. So we need to add those two volumes, right? So that won't be equal to this volume.
That's what I'm not telling. It's not to be 100. See, we are taking 100 grams of solution. We are taking 100 grams solution. In that 80 grams is water and the remaining 20 grams is potassium iodide. Right? So they're given total solution density is given. Total solution density is 1.202. And mass of solution we consider 100 grams. So we are calculating volume. This D is equal to M by V. Tell me.
Aqueous Ki means only Ki, right?
Ki is solid, ma. It is like how is potassium chloride, common salt. Like that potassium it is solid, salt that is. So density of
liquid state.
So if the density of aqueous Ki is given, density of aqueous Ki that is. Any doubt?
So I understood.
Let's substitute here. Molarity M is equal to mass of solute 20 divided by molar mass is 166 into 1000 by 83.2.
So,
Tell me.
can we take 83 into 83.2 as 83 whole square?
How can you take 83 point whole square?
Okay,
That is 83.2.
So I think you get 1.44.
1.448. Okay, correct. 1.45 right answer. 1.45 mole per liter. Then calculate last one. Mole fraction. Mole fraction. So first number of moles of potassium iodide. Number of moles of potassium iodide. NKI is equal to 20 by 166. .12. Next one, number of moles of water. Mass of water is considered 80 grams divided by 18. It gives 4.44. Next, mole fraction.
Sir?
Yes?
Is the answer for this is 0.26?
Which one? Mole fraction?
Mole fraction, yes, sir.
No, okay, I will calculate. Mole fraction of Ki.
I think it's wrong. Just a
X
second. I'll
is equal to 0.12 divided by 0.12 plus 4.44.
The 0.026.
Yeah, 0.026. Not having any units.
So,
Yes.
sir, is there any relation between mole fraction and mass percentage?
Mole fraction and mass percentage. No, we have between mole fraction, molality we have, but we don't have weight mass percentage.
Sir, don't you feel that every 100 moles of the solution, 2.6 moles are of potassium iodide?
How? Consider?
Sir, here, every 100 moles of the solution, 2.6 moles are potassium iodide.
2 point. So you are saying if we consider 100 moles of total solution, then there 0 point?
There 2.6 moles of potassium iodide is present.
Mm-hmm. So we should not mix that. So you are saying 0.026 moles of potassium iodide present means, then if you go through amount of mass potassium iodide, then how much it comes?
They're not mass, the number of moles.
See, okay, you are saying number of moles of potassium, you are saying potassium iodide saying 2.6, right? Okay. Next up, potassium iodide, number of moles we are writing mass by molecular weight into, we are taking 2.6. Then calculate how much you will get mass. Multiply with 2.6 into molecular weight is 166. Multiply this. 2.6 into 166.
Sir, 431.6.
431.6 grams. That is mass of potassium iodide. So how it will be related now? We are taking in 100 moles of total solution. In the total solution, 431.6 grams is potassium iodide.
Sir, they already...
Okay, it gives only number of moles.
Yes, sir, I was talking about...
But it won't give so mass percentage.
Sir, no, sir, I left mass percentage because I saw in the question it is 20 and 80 mass percentages.
20 and 80 mass percentage. If we go back, no, here comes a mistake, ma'am. No chance that is. Because you are saying 100 moles total.
Yes, sir.
So how we know what is the particular number of moles of water, particular number of moles of potassium iodide? We don't know. Overall, you are taking 100 moles.
Sir, mole fraction says number of moles of a particular substance
component.
Whole solution, no, sir. So that's what, if we multiply the whole solution by 100 moles, then we get 6 moles of K only, no, sir.
2.46 mole potassium iodide. Next, 97.4 moles water. See, so this is right. From this calculate percentage, weight percentage, how can you calculate? We have to calculate first mass. Potassium iodide mass we have to calculate from this. And then mass of water we have to calculate. Then calculate percentages. I think it gives. 20-80% it gives. Yes, ma, it comes, answer will comes.
Okay, sir.
Okay, next. Right, dilution formulas. Just, dilution of solution, right? Later I'll give formulas. Dilution of solution. Okay, see here. I'm taking some solution. Suppose this volume is V1. Molarity is M1. To this, adding some water or any solvent we can add. Now this is the solution. Then its volume becomes V2. Molarity becomes M2. So what is the relation between this? M1 V1 is equal to M2 V2. So here if we know three terms, M1 V1 and M2, we can calculate V2. Otherwise, we know M1 V1 and V2 value, we can calculate M2 value. This is using in titrations. So in laboratory, they are giving a NaOH solution concentration they are giving, and volume we can select whatever the volume we need, 10 ml or 20 ml, we can select with the help of pipette. And here with the help of burette, we are calculating how much volume of acid is required to neutralize NaOH. That is also we are selecting. Then finally we need to calculate M2 value. Okay, sorry, this is actually neutralization. Okay, it's the neutralization process. But to calculate same substance concentration, we are first taking how much concentration of the solution is there, M1, and measuring what is the volume also. After that, how much amount of water we are adding to the solution is giving. Suppose you are adding 500 ml.
So could you explain that part again?
Sorry, 1 second, I'll explain. This volume is V1. Molarity is M1. Suppose to the solution I am adding 500 ml water. Then volume of solution must be increases. So then volume of solution becomes V1 plus 500. So that means V2. And what is the concentration? M2. What happened? Increases or decreases?
Increases.
Decreases.
Sir, could you repeat? I didn't hear the whole thing.
I'm adding
Sir,
water.
M2 decreases, sir.
M2 decreases. So that is dilution. By dilution, concentration of solution is decreases. Okay, right, first one. If a solution having molarity, M1 and volume V1 is diluted to volume V2 so that the new molarity is M2. So that the new molarity is M2. So now the relation is M1 V1 is equal to M2 V2. So here write capital M.
Sir,
Yes.
Sir, this is because the number of moles of the substance is constant, right?
Number of moles of solute is constant. Yes.
Sir, what if the volume of solute is increased or decreased?
If volume of solution increases, concentration decreases. If volume of solution is decreases, concentration increases.
Sir, I'm saying like in salt water, if we add more water, the concentration decreases, right?
Decreases, yes.
But what if I add more salt? Then
concentration increases.
Then will that follow this rule?
Yeah. Similarly, here we are adding water, right? So solvent we are adding, so concentration decreases. So that is the relation, how it varies. So sometimes questions are giving, we have 0.5 m of NaOH solution of 1000 ml, that is allowed for evaporation. During evaporation, NaOH not evaporates, only H2O evaporates, water get evaporated. Then solution, so they're giving 100 ml of water is evaporated. Then resultant is, initially I have 1000 ml 0.5 NaOH solution. So it is allowed for evaporation. During evaporation, water get evaporated, so concentration of solution, what happens? Suppose 100 ml of water is evaporated, then volume of solution becomes 900 ml. Then what is its concentration asking? So we have to calculate concentration. 0.5 molarity of NaOH increases, it may be more than 0.5 only. If it water content is decreases. If water content is increases, its concentration decreases. Okay, this one. Next formula is neutralization formula. This is dilution formula.
So
yes.
Could you just repeat? If water, what do you say in the last line?
If amount of solvent is increases, concentration of solution decreases. Yes.
Amount of solvent.
Amount of solvent increases, concentration of solution is decreases.
So how is that possible? Shouldn't the concentration increase?
How it increases? Suppose you taken some sugar water, it is a sweet taste. If you add large amount of water, what happens? Its sweet taste decreases.
Oh, so yeah, solvent. Sorry.
Here also same. Concentration of solution decreases.
Yeah, I was thinking
solute.
Sir, if I take a salt solution and it is highly saturated, so it has certain concentration on NaCl and water also the volume of water is constant. Then if I add more NaCl, then volume also will increase, no sir?
See, here salt is not dissolved, no? How can see here we are taking solution. You are telling that is also saturated solution, right?
Yes, sir.
Saturated solution means that solution completely solute is completely dissolved. So no more solute can you add, right?
Sir, but in that concentration is there, no sir?
How it will be there? See, what is saturated solution?
When it reaches a limit of being a solution.
So already the given solvent having solution having maximum amount of solute. If you add further salt, that goes and settle downside. It won't dissolve. It settle downside.
Sir,
Hmm.
so
Yes, sir.
saturation's inversely proportional to dilution, like diluting, basically.
See here, dilution possible. Dilution possible. If you add water, its concentration decreases for saturated solution. So if you take one saturated solution, you can't add salt. If you add salt, that settle down. So it won't mixes with water. See, if you take one glass of water, you can dissolve 3 spoons of salt, maximum 5 spoons of salt you can dissolve. Further, is it possible? No chance. Once it forms saturated solution, further solubility not possible. Only by heating it is possible. Okay, next, neutralization. So, suppose first I'm writing equation. See, HCl plus NaOH. Here neutralization process takes place. It gives NaCl and water. So here questions are how they are giving. Concentration of HCl is giving. Suppose it is 1 m and volume is 10 ml. NaOH concentration is 0.1 m. And how much volume of NaOH is required to neutralize completely HCl? So how to calculate this? We have 1 m HCl of 10 ml solution. NaOH is 0.5 m solution. So how much volume of NaOH is required to neutralize completely HCl?
20 ml.
20 ml of required. So that relation we are taking under neutralization process. Suppose reaction is HCl. Sorry, with H2SO4. So this is 1 m solution. 20 ml I have. So how much ml of NaOH is required to neutralize completely 1 m H2SO4 solution? So
40 ml.
first here we have to neutralize. First we have to take balanced equation. This is not balanced equation, right?
Okay.
Balance the equation. H2SO4 it gives Na2SO4 plus H2O. Balance equation. H2SO4 plus 2 NaOH gives Na2SO4 plus H2O. 2 H2O, not 1 H2O, it is 2 H2O.
Yeah.
Now it is balanced. So how to give relation here? That's required, no doubt. It require 40 ml of, no, not 40 ml. It require 80 ml, right?
So it's still not balanced.
Not balanced?
No.
No balanced, no 2 Na, 1 SO4 and 2 hydrogens, 2 oxygens balanced. That is balanced.
Oh yeah, that is H2O, no there.
H2O.
I didn't see that part.
So in this case, how to give relation? Here in this case, we are giving.
So here 80 ml is required.
80 ml required, correct. Here we are writing M1 V1 by N1. This is important. M2 V2 by N2. So here M1 V1 N1 are for related to H2SO4, number of moles of H2SO4 and volume of H2SO4. And here N1 represent how many number of molecules are involving during the balanced chemical reaction. That number we are writing here. Then here 0.5 moles of NaOH and how much volume of NaOH we need to neutralize H2SO4. This term we have to calculate. V2. M2 we have. And N2 is this number we are writing 2. So this is only neutralization formula. So right here, for a balanced chemical reaction, involving N1 moles of reactant 1 and N2 moles of reactant 2. N2 moles of reactant 2. For amount of reactants, for amount of reactants, 1 and 2 reacting exactly, one and two reacting exactly with each other, so write formula M1 V1 by N1 equal to M2 V2 by N2. After this, write examples for H2SO4 and HCl. NaCl plus water. This is M1 concentration, volume V1. This is M2, this is V2. And number of moles 1 only. So here take N1 equal to 1, N2 is equal to 1 only here also. So formula M1 V1 by same 1 only will comes. M2 V2 by 1 only. Next. Example 2, H2SO4 plus NaOH. This writes Na2SO4 plus H2. Yes.
So the volume depends upon temperature, no, sir, and pressure.
Volume depends upon? Yes. It depends upon temperature and pressure. But we are taking under same conditions. When you are carry out a chemical reaction in a laboratory, there almost it maintains same temperature and pressure.
Okay, sir.
So apply for this one H2SO4 and NaOH. Your formula is molarity M1, volume V1, N1 is equal to 1. M2, V2, N2 is equal to 2. M1 V1 by N1, N1 is 1 no, equal to M2 V2 by 2. So in these 4 terms, if you know any 3 terms, another one we can calculate. Okay, next normality equation. So sometimes instead of molarities giving normality, same formula in case of normality also. Don't write in normality equation. But if a solution having normality n1, a solution having normality n1 and volume v1, volume v1 is diluted to volume v2, is diluted to volume v2, so that the new molar normality is relation is n1.
Sir,
Yes, tell me.
how to calculate normality now?
Normality. Already I said how to calculate normality. Last class you didn't attend. Hello? Keshav,
I attended, sir, but I
check one's notebook. What you wrote formula?
So n into m.
yeah, I just saw it now.
N into?
Molarity.
You are asking relation, normality and molarity relation.
Yes, sir.
Molarity is equal to n into normality. So here n is valency. For acids, it having basicity, bases having acidity. If it is salt, we are writing charge of cations. We'll see in problems.
Yes, sir. I meant to ask that only.
Next one is calculation of normality and molarity by mixing of substances. Say suppose I'm mixing same substances. Means both are acids or even both are bases. So here I am taking HCl. Concentration is M1, volume is V1. Next here HNO3, nitric acid I am taking. So here molarity M2 and volume V2. And then taking H2SO4. This concentration is M3 and volume is V3. So all are acids only. They won't react, we know. If you mix, it forms a mixture only. It won't react and won't give any new product. So on mixing of these substances, we need resultant concentration M4. Resultant concentration M4 is equal to. So M1V1 plus M2V2 plus M2V3 divided by V1 plus V2 plus V3.
So the M and V value will be given in the question.
Giving. Yes, they are giving.
What's the values?
Some values are giving. What is molarity of HCl and volume? These all concentrations are giving. We have to calculate mixture. If you mix all the substances, what is the concentration of resultant solution?
Oh, okay.
So this is like a mixing of various fruit juice, lemon juice, orange juice, apple juice. So if you mix all, then what is concentration will come. So like that's here solutions, but this won't react. If they react, that concentration we won't get correct one.
So this is majorly used in the cough syrups and all, right?
This yeah, here while making
there are different
syrups and injection solutions using this terms only, concentration terms. Okay, right, subheading. Calculation of molarity and normality. Calculation of molarity and normality of the solution obtained on mixing two or more solutions.
Sir,
yes.
What
Tell me.
was the previous relation you wrote? M4 is equal to
M1 V1 plus M2 V2 plus M3 V3 by two or more solutions. So this is subheading. Under this, if the solutions mixed are of the same substances, the solutions are of the same substance. Examples: all acids or all bases. If V1 ml of solution of molarity M1 or mixed with V2 ml of solution molarity M2. So here same substances we are using, either two or more acids or two or more bases only we are mixing. Then resultant solution molarity M3 becomes M3 is equal to M1 V1 plus M2 V2 plus divided by V1 plus V2. Completed?
Yes, sir.
1 second, sir.
Yes, sir, done. Sir, did you correct the test papers that
No.
you
Only
had?
2 or 3 papers only corrected. Monday I will give you.
Okay.
Sir, whose paper did you correct, sir?
I think Aryan paper. Aryan paper I corrected. I forgot.
So you corrected?
Yeah.
So, did I do bad or good?
Hello?
Yes, sir. What are my marks?
Aryan, I think 25
Out of 50?
out of 30.
Oh, okay, sir.
So
whose paper did
So
you
you
correct
corrected
next?
mine.
I forgot names. Bargo paper not corrected.
Okay.
Ananya, no, I don't know the names. 3 papers I corrected.
So what's the highest in that?
Highest someone got 30, I think. 30 not 29.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, if many solutions are added, we can write in the form of summation, no, sir?
What?
Sir, if many solutions are added together, we can't write the formula very big. It will become very big, no, sir. So we can write, we can put symbol summation, right?
Summation. Oh, you are giving, suppose more components are giving.
Yes, sir. We can.
Yeah. We can
symbol.
writing summation. Yes. But naturally, we don't mix that many compounds. Maybe 5 or 6, maximum 10. Okay, guys. Thank you.
Sir, I wanted to ask
Yes, tell
one
me.
thing. It is not related to chemistry, but are you planning on starting are you guys planning on starting the biology classes as well?
Sir, even I had
Biology
asked her, sir, the same thing.
Oh, okay. I will discuss with sir. So, how many students are studying? I mean, biology subject in 11th and 12th.
Me, sir.
Right. Mega, right?
Yes,
Ananya.
sir.
I have taken bio, but I don't need a tuition, sir.
Okay. Who is
No,
that?
sir, I don't need bio.
Sir, I need bio.
Name?
Annavadya, sir.
Anavadya and
Sir, me too.
Risha.
Yes, sir.
And are you 2 members? Okay. I will discuss with sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
We have class.
Thank you,
Maths
sir.
class.
Yes, sir.
sir.
That's
Okay. Thank you.